Then we want to, like, throw an exception. We can say throw new any exception. Like yesterday we discussed null pointer exception in out of range, okay, or divide by zero exception. We can throw any exception. Let's say if I'm saying a null pointer exception. So this we can do with a throw keyword. Okay, let's create a small code for this. Let's say I'm having the test method. We define a variable. Let's say, let's take age, and I want to take this age from user. I'm saying console. So I just simply surround this code in try catch. Okay, let's do with just these twos. Okay, so let me run this program without throwing any exception. Then we'll add this throw keyword. Okay. Yeah, it's saying enter age. So I'm adding a valid number. Let's say 19. So it's okay. I didn't print anything. Say 18 or 19. that you entered age 19, right? So program is running fine. Let's say if I enter the age below 18, let's say 15. It's saying you entered age 15. Now I want when we insert any age, any number below 18, I want to throw exception forcefully. System is basically not considering below 18, any number below 18 as an exception, right? So, but as per my program or my logic, business logic, we want to throw an exception. The maybe exception, we can say invalid operation exception. I want to throw this. So what we can do, we can write here logic. If age is less than 18, then I want to throw exception. Which exception? We can say invalid operation exception. Okay, we need to use new invalid operation. And even we can provide a message here. This is invalid age. So this message is basically like we write here ex dot message. So this message will be written will be handled here, means it will print the same message on console. This is invalid age. If we don't provide this message, so okay, let's do it without this. So in this scenario, it will system generated message will get printed on the screen. If we provide our message, then that custom message will be printed on the screen. So let's say 19. So 19 is okay. Okay, but we in operation is not valid due to the current state of operation. Okay. Okay. So we're supposed to give less than 18. Okay, now I'm saying 19, 20, whatever. So this is considered system is taking 19 as a valid number. Now I'm going to execute it with below 18. Let's say 15. Now it's saying this operation is not valid due to the current state of the object. So this is a system defined message, but we can also override this message by custom message. Okay, so at this point, system is considering 15 as a message as an incorrect input and throwing the exception, which exception, that is invalid operation. So from here, like exception get throw and this catch will catch this exception and will print the message. Okay, if I want to print my custom message, so we can say this is invalid age. Now it's saying 15. So message is invalid age. Okay. So let me try to uh, raise this, I mean, this scenario as well, invalid cast exception. If I try to insert a numeric instead of numeric using a character or something, so it will say, okay, the exception is format exception. We can use this format exception class instead of invalid cast. Format exception. Invalid formatting. So this is invalid formatting. Input string was not in correct format. So now we handle the two exception in this code. So one is if we insert character value and try to insert character value in integer, then this catch will get executed. If we try to enter any number below 18, then we are forcefully throwing an exception, that is invalid operation exception. Then this catch will catch the exception and print the message, or whatever the we provide the handling technique for to handle this thing. Even we can re-execute it, like we can say call the method again. So let's say if I'm saying 5, saying invalid age, it's asking again enter age. I'm saying 16, there is again invalid age. I'm saying 19, that is valid age. You entered age 19, that is valid. So then program smoothly, we can say, executed and completed the execution without crashing the program. So this catch is basically handling the runtime errors. Try and catch. Okay, so here we use the throw keyword to forcefully throw an exception. Okay, any doubt?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, all right. Okay, thank you. So so this is we can say here we at this point we use predefined classes like invalid operation or format exception or invalid cast exception. These all are predefined exception class. Uh, Now I want to create my exception class, custom exception class, and that exception class I want to throw and want to catch that. Okay, what for that what we can do? Okay. Give me a minute, please. So we will create new class. Just I'm saying my exception class, my custom exception. Okay. So when you are when you are creating your own custom exception class, the first thing is the class supposed to be inherited by parent exception class, that is exception, right? So this is the first thing. And the second is we need to we can create constructor, my custom exception. We can provide message and this is supposed to be message from base. And what else we can do? Okay, let's do it with this only first. Then we can improve this class. Okay. Now instead of invalid, okay, let's first check it. Can my class is like we can use that my custom exception inside catch or not? Yeah. So we can use ex also printing and I'm saying ex.message. Okay. Now I want to use just replacing this invalid operation exception with my custom exception class. Okay. Just for custom class. Let's say 15. So now the output is from last catch, that is handled with my custom exception class. Right, so this way you can create your own custom class. You can override the constructor. Even you can override the constructor with uh, further more details like error code you want to provide or something like, so that you can do it in by overriding the uh, constructors. Okay, for example, let's say like here we can use, instead of message, we can also use ex dot inner exception, right? So if I said inner exception without changing anything, so in this case, so this is a valid. Say 5. See, so in this scenario, we are not getting any exception detail, you know, ex dot inner exception. So it's blank. It's coming blank because we didn't override it. So for in case of message ex dot message, then we are getting a proper message. This is invalid age, right? So in this scenario, we need to override it the constructor again. We can say I want to give message plus inner exception. That is for exception, I guess. Okay, say inner. And yeah, for second is inner exception. Even we can give error code as well. Let's do it. It's code or error code. It's error code. Okay, this way. You need to create a property with error code. You can say this dot error code equals error code. Yes. new invalid operation, an error code we can say 404. See, so the this time inner exception is we pass the inner exception detail is invalid operation. So the second parameter, basically we overriding the constructor. The second parameter is inner exception, I mean exception, and the third parameter is error code. So the error code we are passing, that is 404. So I just write here in this catch, this is an inner exception. We can print everything, means error code, exception, or a message as well. Let me do that. Okay, if I said ex dot error code, sorry, exception. So in this case, we will able to see everything. C5. So the error code is 404. This is invalid age. So the inner exception detail is invalid operation. Operation is not valid due to the current state of object. So now we able to see complete detail of exception. So like this, you can create your own custom classes to throw the custom exception. If you don't want to throw user defined exception. Right, even if you don't want to handle this part as well, you can just ignore, you can say null. So it will be like, need to pass the inner exception here. Now we are just sending the code and exception detail like this. Okay, so like in real projects, like in many scenario, we create this custom exceptions to handle the custom scenarios. So this is, we can say, the custom scenario. Okay, any doubt here till here?
No.
Okay, so this is all about like uh, exception handling. So we like discussed try, catch, finally. We discussed the throw keyword, and we also created this custom exception classes. Okay. Now moving forward, so this is the topic which we like discussed, that is related to C sharp only, and we can use this all topic in an ASP.NET in MVC anywhere where we implement this C sharp. So the next step is we are now moving to from console application to ASP.NET application. So today I just provide you the high level information about ASP.NET. Then from tomorrow we'll start creating the the codes and all, uh, taking the understanding of component of ASP.NET. Okay, so now I'm creating a new project. So right now we are just using console application. Now I'm going to create ASP.NET application. Visible Windows. Of course. Yeah, ASP.NET Web Application. So we need to select this ASP.NET Web Application, .NET Framework. We have like ASP.NET Core as well, MVC as well, but we will discuss like ASP.NET Web Application. Okay, so let me web sample one. So when we are like dealing with the ASP.NET application, so we have like option we can create form based application or MVC based application. We have like APIs, we can also use the REST APIs, but this time we will select web forms. Okay, web forms, and so okay, create. Okay, so this is a landing page. So again, we have a solution explorer here. So this is, we can say, default files for .NET web application with forms. So here we have the main file is basically that is a web config web.config. The everything is like related to this web application configuration related, that is inside web.config file. Even like in future we want to create a database connectivity, maybe we want to use any third party application, want to add something that's supposed to be reflect in this web.config or supposed to be at this time. Maybe we want to create some settings for application, then we use this web.config file. Okay, let me execute this first, and we can then we can go through with each few pages. Second. Okay. Yeah. So when we like create web application, there is one more option. It's called empty application. Empty application means to say we do not get any, the designing part or a page or something. Everything will be created by us. But we use some template here, we can say. So they provide some of the code like this. We have this section, then a home page, we have a about page and a contact page. So let's discuss this first, then we can start with the empty as well. Okay. So so when we are dealing with the ASP.NET, so .NET, the extension of pages will be .aspx. So like here you can see the default .aspx. So extension of pages will be .aspx. Uh, .aspx page basically handle the designing part. So whatever the design, the HTML code will be in .aspx. So this is ASPX. So if you want to do any, coding related, let's say we have created one button and we want to click on default page. So the coding will be go inside aspx.cs file. If I open this file, so here you can see, again a C# part. That is a page load event. We'll discuss the page life cycle, what is page load event and all rest of things. So, so just I'm giving the high level today. So designing part will go inside ASPX, and the C sharp related or a business logic related to stuff will go inside ASPX.cs file. So this is the two files, two different files, but the names are different and names are same. So similar we have like contact page. So contact page also having .cs file. Okay. Okay, so we have like some folder structure as well, like app data, app start. Here we like give the bundle configuration or routing configuration. Routing configuration means to say, let's say, uh, right now, not here in master page. Okay, what is master page? Let me explain this first. Uh, so this is the output. So right now we are on home page right now. See, when I click on about, now we are on about page. So we can see this, the ribbon, the menu ribbon is still same, or we can say available on home page as well, about us and contact us. So so there are two ways we can achieve this. We can repeat this ribbon code on home, about and contact. And the second one is we can make it common and we can share with rest of the pages. So how we can share it? We can share it with master page. So like say the site.master. So this is a master page. So here you can see the menu option. See this one. I'll discuss everything. What is this script.render like this? What is this? This is called scriptlets. And what is this scriptlet? Then at the rate master language and all. We'll discuss this. But right now I'm just giving you high level. So this is, you can see the menu code that is inside site.master. If I go to the default page, here you will not find that, you know, the menu code, even not on default on contact or about page. See, this is the content which actually render this part. Contact your contact, then this is this one code. But there is no code available for home, about, and contact. So this part is basically coming from master.cs. So if you want to design a theme or the pages, or means to say header or footer for the entire website, so we can do that designing part or designing stuff inside site.master. So similar we have like one site.mobile.master. Site.mobile.master means to say when we open this site on mobile, so this master will get executed. Let me try to uh, control shift M. Mobile view, yes. So now the page is in mobile view now, right now. So here you can see this three line. So see the view, or we can say the presentation get changed. And this time system basically detect the dimensions of the screen. Okay, if the dimension is related to the mobile, then in that scenario, system will render this site.mobile.master. Okay, so this is something related to the themes or designing part. Okay. Yeah, the content in content folder is basically containing all the themes, whatever the themes you are going to use inside for to design your website. So we can place inside the content. We have the script folders. So script folder will contain all the JS file or jQuery files. Okay. And font, any special font you want to add on your website, so we can put it inside the font folder. Even we can create our custom folder as well. Okay. So this is the app.start. So this is, we can say, some kind of configuration. We set it here, and then finally we register this configuration inside the web.config file. This is route config. We can see any route config here or not. I think that is default. Yeah, that is default. So basically, app.start is basically contain those files when we launch this website, and the web application gets started on server. The very first time this configuration get registered in on the servers. Okay. So yeah, one more thing. Yeah, here you can see when we click on contact, we have /contact. This is, we can say, the URL or the route part. So this is a contact. So it's coming. We mention here, when we click on this contact, it will move to the contact page. So we have contact.aspx. We do not need to mention .aspx page. We just mention .contact. It will open this contact page, or render the content of contact page. Okay, and anything else? Global.aspx. Okay, yeah, this is the the two files. Basically, I'm just talking about bundle.config and route.config. So these are created inside app.start, and we have to register these two files inside application sort, that is inside the global file. When we deploy this application on IS server, so application gets started. This is the very first, we can say, the method when application gets started. So on starting the application, system will register to these two services, routing and bundle service. Okay. Okay, so this is the one thing. The second is, let's say we are on default page. I want to add some, buttons and all. So we can see source of the page from here, and even we can see the design part as well. If you click on this design, you can see the final output as well. Okay. So while writing your CSS code, you can immediately see the output. So how the code will be look like this. But I will not prefer like to open this design part. Just you write your code, because the CSS part basically get implemented when you actually execute the application. So right now you can see get started, more libraries, and there is one more option, but it's not visible because of some the CSS issue, or we can say the class is not getting properly applied in designing phase. But if we see inside the browser, that see, we have like this in a column structure: started, more application, and web hosting. Okay. And the next one is, we have a toolbox here. So toolbox is like we having tools. We can use these tools to create the controls. If we want to add a button, we can do drag and drop. Okay, we can want to use file input, file upload controller. You just need to drag and drop. We'll see some of these tools, how like we can add on the page and how we can write the code on button click, on a drop down or file upload, anything. Okay. Okay. Very one most important thing when you are dealing with ASP.NET. If we talk about uh, ASP.NET, so we are dealing with .aspx. So this .aspx is basically contain design, and we have one .aspx.cs. This page call contains logic or event. Event means to say inside design we create a button, OK button or submit button. So I want to write a logic of submission a form. Then we need to create an event for this click event. So the click event basically will be inside this aspx.cs file. So .cs file will contain the all logic or event code. Okay. Okay. And these event and logic basically or even execute on server side. Server side means to say there is a request response cycle. This is client and this is server. Let's say on a client side we have this OK button. When we click on this OK button, the request basically move from client to server. Server will process the request and again send back the response to the client. So this is, we can say, request response cycle. This is request and this is response. This is request response cycle. Okay, so whatever the event, if we are using server side controls, these controls which I just opened, toolbox, this one, the controls inside the toolbox all are server side control. Server side control means to say whatever like the event for the for any control will be send request to server, then request get processed on server, then we client will get the response, right? So this is server, all the controls are related, all controls are server side controls. Okay, so if you don't want to send each request on server, because when we start using every controller as a server side control, then we are like overloading the server, or we are sending a lot of requests on server. So maybe the server the performance maybe get impacted if we are sending too many requested on the server for even a small check as well. So we have an option. We can use client side control or server side controls in ASP.NET. If we want to use client side control, then we need to use CSS to design a control. I mean the HTML, CSS, and JS. Let's say we want to validate it as any username or password. Let's say user uh, did not enter any username and click on OK. So in case of server side, request will be sent on server. Server will check, okay, the data is there inside any text box. It's fine. Let's say there is no data, then the server will send back the response to the client and saying just message enter enter username, right? So this is for just for this simple message we are like doing this request and response, proper request response cycle, sending request to server, then server processing and server sending this error detail. This is a one way. The second way we can use with HTML, CSS and JavaScript. We before when we click on OK button, now this time we create this OK button from HTML with HTML control. When we click on this, JavaScript will like execute a validation only on client side. If the validation get passed, then we will send the data to the to server, right? Only the valid request supposed to be sent to the server. Then the server we can say having a limited or valid request to process. Otherwise, if we are like not using this thing HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then every request will be sending to the server for even a small operation for. Okay, you are getting my point. Basically, we have the two kind of controls: server side control and client side control. It's totally upon on a developer what they want to use, a server side or a client side. Mostly in ASP.NET, mostly when we are dealing with the ASP.NET, so mostly we use a server side control. For the enhancement, we have the MVC. MVC, we can say we do not have any server side control in MVC. We're supposed to create control with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then request will send to the server. Okay. So tomorrow we'll start with the ASP.NET controls and with the examples as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. We'll
Thank
connect
you.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.